What's up? What's up? We are live on the stream. 7 a.m. Saturday morning. I always here we go. That's the angle we like. I always question the Saturday morning streams, guys. I won't lie. 7 a.m. Saturday morning, I could just be sleeping in. It causes me slight pause, Nothing crazy. Just some slight pause. Cool. Well, we're here for a few reasons and a few reasons only. We're here to help people feel connected and help people Saturday morning, and I'm blinking on the second thing, feel less stressed. So we help you feel connected by answering your community and your communication questions, and we help you feel less stressed by hopefully getting you a laugh with some dog poop horror stories or some dog stories that are just heartwarming. So you either feel good or you get a laugh, or you get to ask me some questions about community and communication, hopefully so that you can take the answer and apply it in your real life in a way that is helpful, because we are trying to help. So that's what we're looking to do. Nothing crazy. Just coming on the stream every morning, 7 a.m. to do just that. And when people aren't on, I have my phone ready for call-ins. I'm not on Do Not Disturb right now, so you can call in, text in 512-591-6138 with your community question or your communication question, and I'll be able to see it. I'll answer, and I'll answer it, or we'll hear your story, and we'll have a good laugh, or hopefully solve some of your problems. So that's what we're here for. If I don't get any call-ins, nothing in the comments, I will jump into some community segments and some communication segments that I already have pre-planned. Might have to plan a bit more, because they're not fully planned and ready, but they're good for the most part. And Saturday mornings are typically pretty slow, so we might have to do 3 or 4 segments. And I don't have any trading to talk about. Usually if it's Monday through Friday, we hop on, we trade, we stream, we go through segments, we answer questions for people. But Saturday mornings, people are sleeping in. So, which I respect and kind of want to be doing myself, won't lie. But, if I wasn't getting up to stream, I'd probably just be getting up to work, because I'm trying to build something. Y'all. Cool. So I guess we'll just jump into these stream segments. Hey, we got one on Facebook. Good morning on a fellow Saturday morning 7 a.m.er. If you have anything that you want to talk about, any questions about community, any questions about communication, feel free to ask them here. If not, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a community or communication segment here. It's going to take me 2 or 3 minutes to prep, so the stream might be silent for a few. But, I'm just keeping it going while I prep this segment. And I'll jump into it. And, I'll talk about some stories about how I was genuinely interested in others, because it looks like that's what segment 5 is about today. Let's see. Yeah, we gotta change some hooks here. Give me a second. We're gonna be talking about how you can remember people that you've encountered because you're genuinely interested in them. I'm gonna give you some tips that I have, and really what works for me, and then what happens when I don't care about somebody, because that happens too. I'm not perfect, y'all. I am not perfect. And I think I went to sleep with a little too much grease on my face and might be waking up with a sty, which isn't fun, but it's a small one. And I got 2 poop scoops later today. One free one is at 9:15, another free one at 2 p.m. So if you guys want a free poop scoop, let me know. I can add you to the calendar. But I'm also looking to confirm the 2 p.m. 9:15 confirmed, good to go. I'm showing up. 2 p.m. less so, hasn't confirmed yet. Booked a few weeks ago, so that one might be a no-show. And if I don't get a confirmation day before, day of, I typically don't show up for the free scoops, especially one that's in Leander, like 35 minutes away from me. It's just tough because I get there, nobody's there, can't get into the backyard, and it's a mess. Let's see. Oof. We'll try this one. I don't know about this one because I don't know if I could actually remember 100 dog parents, but this is what I would do if I needed to. Let's see. I mean, it works. It works. If I met 100. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So, guys, we always have what we like to call domains, facets, and aspects. The domain is like the big thing that we're talking about with community or communication, and this is a communication one. So the big thing we're talking about in communication right now is connection. In order to connect with people, you first need to become genuinely interested in them. And that's straight out of How to Win Friends and Influence People. I really like that book. It's a great book on communication. Great book on just interpersonal. I was about to say interpersonal relations. That just sounds weird, though. It's a great book on just communicating with people. Let's just leave it at that. And I think one thing you need to do in order to communicate with people, show them that you're genuinely interested in them. It's really nice if you remember key details they share. So a question that might come up if you're trying to connect with people, be genuinely interested in them, and remember key details they share is, how can I track who I've met and what they said? If you're somebody who goes to an event or two a week, a networking event for business purposes, or an event to make friends off of meetup.com or Eventbrite, or you attend the same yoga class and there's always new people there, or you're always with the same sports group, but there are new people and you only see them once a week, once every 2 weeks. This is a serious question because it's embarrassing to see somebody for the second or the third time and not remember who their cousin Billy is and forget what their name is, right? It's not as embarrassing. Most people understand, but it just shows them you don't care. And in a world where there's not a lot of people who care about other people, it's super nice to show somebody you care enough about them to remember the small things. And it's also a skill that is super helpful, because when you practice on strangers, it'll be a lot easier with people that you actually live life with on a daily basis. So if you can recall the names and details of strangers' lives, you'll do that much better at recalling the names and details of your kids' lives, your spouse's life, your friend's life. And so then you can follow up on important things and be a better friend, a better spouse, a better parent, a better child, better sibling, to the people you really care about, you know? So life's about reps. Get your reps in with strangers, show them that you care, and maybe change their life with how much you care. Maybe nobody's cared for them like that in a while, and get reps to care about the people real close to you in a way that actually matters reciprocally. Like, you know, if you don't care about a stranger and they don't care about you, it probably doesn't affect your life. But if you don't care about somebody you love and your life is intertwined with them and that relationship slowly disintegrates, that will affect your life, and that'll kind of suck, right? So this is a small little system I would use to track who I've met and what I've said. We kind of do this for apartment life because we throw events and we have like 800 people at our apartment that we like door knock for and that we do events for. And I'm always meeting somebody new because there's always people moving in and there's always people moving out. And so the people you get used to are eventually gone, so on and so forth. And so that can just be tough. And so I actually do an aspect of this. That's funny because the aspect is to remember key details they share. I do a piece of this. I don't do the full blown thing, but kind of. And the better you do the system and the more you review the system, the better it gets. So we'll jump to the segment right now. Here we go. If I met 100 new people in Austin this month, here's how to remember every single one of them. First, text them immediately after meeting them, saying it was nice to meet them, and make follow-up plans. When you have something to be held accountable to, it cements them in your mind more. Second, save their photo in their contact. Very simple, but when you can look at their face and you can attach it to a name, and you can attach that face and name to a future event, it becomes super easy to remember people. Even if it's a future group event where you'll see them while you're also seeing 50 other people, it helps to get those reps in with those names, those faces, and those future plans. The third thing I would do is record one important detail in a separate sheet. It could be a spreadsheet, it could be a notes app, it could be their contact, but make sure you remember something personal about them that is unique to them and that they would cherish you remembering. One, it'll make them feel loved, but two, it'll place them in a unique spot in your mind. And fourth, make a habit of looking back over who you connected with to cement them in your head. So for me, this is typically prayer. I look over the list of people I've met and I like to pray over them. But some people just like to send good wishes. Others just like to try to remember names and faces. So whatever habit caused you to look back at the people you've met, Look back, connect with them. Maybe it's just to follow up with them and text them. Who knows? But those are the 4 things I would do if I met 100 new people in Austin and I wanted to remember every single one of them. And 100 people sounds like a lot, but a good system makes for a great memory. Most people only have 5 to 10 names to remember anyway. So do the fundamentals and show people you care. Cool. That's my little segment. I liked it. You know, it's not something that's a super major pain point, but it is top of mind for a lot of people. And because we're always meeting people, you know, that makes it tough. I think about how I have a doctor friend. A lot of people have doctor friends or have doctors in their lives or just know doctors or know people who know doctors. Because there are a lot of doctors. But they can have a lot of clients. Like a doctor at any point in time. Hold on, I want to make sure everything is going well because my internet looks like it is tripping. Yeah. No, I think we're still good to go. Doctors can sometimes have 2,000 clients, 1,500 clients, 2,500 clients that they see in a year. If you're like a general practice family medicine doctor, I think is kind of the words you use. And that's a lot of people to remember, you know. And I'm sure they're not perfect at remembering names and such, but it's the more points of information you have. Like I just talked about 100 names, right? I'm sure the doctor knows more than 100 names of their patient, and they can recall more just because they have to spend so much time on that patient profile, like making sure they understand the issue before the check-in, yada yada. Like once you review that amount of information 2, 3, 4 times, and that person shows up consistently in your life, you really start to remember them. You know, I think that's just a super cool aspect of this. That's why I had the record one important detail, because everybody is obviously a unique individual and they have unique experiences. And so when they share a specific story with you or a specific sentiment or a specific character trait, for example, your boy does not like condiments. I hate condiments. I can't put them on anything. It just bugs me unless you count syrup on pancakes. So if you meet me and one of your first interactions with me is like, I get a plate of food and it comes with ketchup on it, so I literally don't eat it because I'd rather go hungry and wait till my next meal than eat ketchup. Now, of course, if I had no other food and there was no other foreseeable food, we live in a very, very blessed spot where I can count on my next meal pretty much. So I'll skip 3-4 hours, right? Maybe 6, 7, but I hate ketchup. I hate mustard. I hate mayonnaise. I hate it all. You know, these condiments just suck. If it's not syrup on pancakes or like peanut butter on a jelly and peanut butter sandwich, like jelly and peanut butter sandwich. I said it here live on stream. Clip that. That's get me roasted. Yeah, I just don't do it. It bothers me, right? So if you saw me do that at a restaurant, it's like, whoa, this man like literally didn't eat his food because no condiments popped up. You could be like, Timmy Douglas, 6'1" black dude. I'm really 6 foot half an inch, but you can put 6'1" in there. Timmy Douglas, 6'1" black dude, kind of swole, and doesn't eat condiments. Like, you'll probably remember me, and then you snap a picture, or you find something on Instagram, or find one of these clips where I'm talking about community. That's probably a better detail. Like, trying to run a dog parent community. Has a stream every morning at 7 a.m. Like, those are probably better details to remember me by, but the no condiments, pretty rare. And it's something you might actually find out in 30 minutes hanging out with me, you know, at a networking event or at a social event when I'm trying to eat, you know. Just my thoughts. Recording that detail about me would cement me in your mind. And next time I showed up, if we were ordering something, you're like, oh, Timmy doesn't want this because he doesn't like condiments. I'd be like, dang, you remember that about me? Like, you're a cool person for that. Like, people who have known me for years, when they remember about me, I'm like, yeah, that's cool that you remember that because it's such a small detail. And so the more, and listen, I don't really care when people remember small details about me, but I respect it. I'm like, dang, like you remembered that. kudos to you. And for other people, they feel touched. For me, I'd rather you focus on building the big stuff in my life with me than remember the small things about my life, because I don't really take too much time on the small things in my life. But what seems like a big thing to me can be a small thing to somebody else. And what seems like a big thing to somebody else can be a small thing to me. So remembering whatever is important to that person is a pretty cool thing. And I say that because what's huge for me right now is like building my business and being in community with others in a meaningful way. And some people think small talk is meaningful, but I think doing work together is meaningful. And others are like, well, that's such a small thing, like improving together, working towards a goal together. Like, why do you need somebody to do that with you? You can do that alone. I'm like, no, it's not fun for me to do it alone. Where it's fun for me to have people come alongside me and we grow together. We build together, right? So, yeah. Let's see what else I got on this segment before we move on to the next one. Yeah, so we talked about recording one more important personal detail, and specifically how doctors can do that to remember a lot of people's names, and the review process also helps them. But how it makes them feel. Like, it makes me feel good, and I don't even really care about that stuff. Saving the photo in their contact, self-explanatory. Save a good photo, make them look good, you know? There's something in How to Win Friends that Influence People called appeal to the nobler motives. It's like, if they're looking janked that day, don't snap a photo of them and save that. Like, go get their best Instagram photo. Go get their best where they look attractive. And because if they ever see that photo in your contact, just randomly, because you're like being silly with your phone or whatever, and they see an ugly photo of them, they're gonna be like, why would you do me like that? If you're really good friends, it'll be funny. Like, yeah, it's just fond memories of you. But if you're not good friends, they'll be like, dang, like, that's what that person thinks of me. Nobody wants to, when you're trying to show people you care, you don't want to roast them. Even though sometimes people, this is a little side tangent. 1 second. A little bit of a side tangent here. Things get crazy Saturday morning on the stream. Things get crazy. There are people out there. I used to be one of them. I think I still kind of am one of them. Who, when they connect with people, I don't know why we do this, actually. I'm sure I should bring some sort of communication expert or a therapist or something on the stream and just ask them why this happens. But like, I can connect with people by being like sarcastic or playing with them a lot or roasting them a lot, or like, words of affirmation. When you're just growing up, it's always something playful in the football locker room. It's always something playful and like, it's mean low key, like high key. Actually, it's just mean. But you say something mean, then you laugh about it as if it's a joke. And it's really like degrading the person. You're like, no, I'm just being sarcastic. You don't have any sense of humor. There are a lot of people like that. And I don't know exactly where I was going with this. I think it has something to do with like, care about what the people care about, not what you care about. So like, the important detail you're remembering, make sure it's big to that person and not big to you. And when you're trying to connect with somebody or love somebody, love them in the way they want to be loved, not in the way you want to love. That's a big deal, because if you think it is fun for you to be sarcastic, and that's how you express love. And I'll give a clearer example to bring it home. But yeah, if you think it's fun and funny to be sarcastic, and you do that with the people you're closest with, but then you come across somebody who's particularly sensitive and loves words of affirmation, and you start being kind of mean to them and sarcastic to show your love, and they're like, oh, you're doing the opposite of loving me. You are actually hating me, and it makes me not like being around you. That person is not feeling loved. They're feeling hated, even though you're trying to express love. And intent doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If you intend to make somebody feel loved and you make them feel hated, they just feel hated. That's just the facts. Like, Nobody cares about your intention. Um, Another point to bring this home, 'cause I just thought, that mismatch of trying to pop my hip. Oh man, that mismatch of love, kind of languages there, can cause a lot of issues. And I'll tell you another mismatch. When I'm like hanging out with Gracie and I'm feeling very lovey-dovey, I am like a physical touch dude. I'm like, oh yeah, let me try and like hug you and kiss you and cuddle with you. Gracie is not a physical touch girl. She doesn't like absolutely hate it, but she could go without it for the most part. And yeah, I just really like it. So when I'm feeling very lovey, I want to do physical touch. When she's wanting to be loved, she wants to be affirmed and served, which is not physical touch, in case you guys were curious. And so that can make it pretty difficult for me to both feel lovey-dovey and love her, because it's like now I have to go out of what I want to do and choose to love her in the way she wants to be loved, which is typically a hassle to me. Like thinking of nice things to say to people bugs me so much because I don't value words. So it feels fake to me, honestly. Even though it's real. Like it's things that I think. I'm like, why do you care about it? Because I could say any words. I think it stems from like basically being lied to, or like seeing people say something and do another thing. I'm just like, your words don't matter at all. So I under index on words, whereas Gracie properly indexes on words. And so it's hard for me to think to affirm because I never think to be affirmed. Like when people say stuff about me or to me, I'm often like, how does your action back it up? And if there's not a way for the action to back it up, it probably doesn't matter. Or if their action doesn't back it up, it definitely doesn't matter, right? So that's what I got there. So we talked about important personal details in a separate sheet. Save the photo in their contact. Oh, that's what it was. You don't want them to feel roasted by the photo you save. And then that brought me to sarcastic people and how you can intend to do something and it's like you like that aspect of them, or you like doing this thing but they don't like it. Yeah, and you have that mismatch. It was about the photo. You want to text them immediately saying it was nice to meet them and make follow-up plans. The follow-up plans is key here, and I say that I know you can't have dinner with like 100 people, right? But like you need to actually set a date for something. Like let's say you have a full social life. If you think about it, you have 21 meals every week. So you could technically eat with 100 people in 5 weeks, I think. Yes, that math is correct. And there's stuff you do outside of meals. You probably go on walks. You probably do workouts. You probably do activities. There's a lot of time in the day. And making future plans with people will help cement them in your head because there's some aspect of accountability. You've now made a commitment that you need to follow through on. And if you're a person who follows through on their commitment, that commitment will be in your head. So when you text somebody, it's like, hey, it was nice to meet you. Okay. It was nice to meet you. Boom. Gone from my head. Like obligation satisfied to be properly social. Or you create another obligation. And this is only if your goal is to remember people. There are times when my goal is not to remember people because I don't think the people are worth remembering for me with my current resources and bandwidth. Intrinsically, of course, they're worth remembering. I'm just betting that there are other people in their life who will remember them, and it's not up to me to remember everybody, right? So sometimes I know I could do these things and I don't do them because I'm not trying to remember that person, which I know sounds crazy, but it's more just that I think about it, and I think most people do the same thing and just don't think about it or don't admit it in that way. Oh, man, there we go. There it was. I just popped my hip. Oh, kind of felt that reverberate through my whole body. Anyway, so if you text them and it was just nice to meet them, gone from your head. But if you make follow-up plans, hey, It was great to meet you. I love talking about, boom, important personal detail that you're recording in spreadsheet. Let's get dinner, boom, on specific date. Or let's get breakfast, boom. Or coffee, boom. Or let's go on a walk, boom. Or let's go to Activate. Activate's a fun little spot here in Austin, and apparently across the world. It's like where those the floor lights up and you have to step on certain colors, yada yada yada. Great for a group of 4 to 6. Let's go to Activate, boom. Let's go play volleyball, boom. Let's go play football, boom. Basketball, boom. Volleyball, I did that. Obviously, I like playing volleyball. I said it twice. With a specific date, now it's like, okay, I have another obligation to this person, or I'm expecting to see them at this group event we go to, or this, that, and the other, right? Like, now you can remember them more because there's something to remember them for. Okay. Hold up now. Hold up now. Now you can remember them more because there's something to remember them for. I didn't know man was going to be dropping bars on this stream today. Let's see. Got to make sure nobody's on chat. Got to make sure nobody's calling in, texting in. Nope. Good to go. Everybody say something, keep it going. We're going to keep it going. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, this is a cool one. All right. I actually like this one. It's not as crazy, but it is going to be a fun one to talk about, I think. And it will help a lot of people build community. So we just finished our communication segment. Now we're going to talk about our community segment. Let's see. I kind of like that hook. We'll do the segue real quick. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this segment real quick. Okay. So the domain we're talking about, characteristics of community. We're talking about community, the domain, characteristics. That's like the big thing. There are some characteristics of community that make up community. And the facet we're talking about today, one of those characteristics is proximity. In order to have proximity, the aspect we're talking about today of proximity is traveling together. And I have once a year, but this is going to talk about a little bit more than once a year. It's going to talk about a way to solve this question, which is when you're talking about proximity and you're talking about traveling together once a year, it's like, it might be kind of weird to travel with them once a year because all we do is small talk. Like, they're not fun. And what's really interesting about this is you may think they're not fun. They may think you're not fun, but both of you guys have fun in areas of your life. That is the most interesting thing. It's like, as opposed to you not being fun, it's like, hey, what do you find fun? Have I ever tried fun in that way? And so, when you're traveling together or when you're planning to travel together, you're like, that person wouldn't be fun to travel with, or they wouldn't be fun on a trip, or it would be awkward if we traveled together. It's like they have moments in their life where they're not awkward. You have moments in your life where you're not awkward. Is it possible that you guys are awkward together, or you don't think each other is fun because you haven't put in the work together? And then the only question is are they worth putting in the work for? And you have to have a whole different set of criteria for that. But when you're asking the question, why do all my friendships stay surface level? I'm telling you, it's because you stick in small talk. And it's because going past small talk is dangerous. Like, it's risky. It may not be reciprocated. And you might be rejected. And rejection is tough for a lot of people. But that's why friendships stay surface level. And so in order to get past surface level so that you can actually travel together once a year, so that you can live more proximate lives, this is the kind of short I want to talk about. It's basically telling people to travel together once a year. It's like, hey, my friendships are too surface level to travel together once a year. Then the question comes in, why do all my friendships stay surface level? I want to make this as an effort to help people get past that surface level friendship. So here we go. If you're tired of small talk, this will change everything. Most relationships stay surface level because your activity and your life is surface level. And here are 3 invites that help deepen relationships in fun ways. The first thing, we want to plan one big trip with the group of people or with the person that you're talking about. This shows a lot of commitment because we're probably going on a 3, 4, 5, 7-day trip together. And it's like, that's half my PTO for the year. I'm deciding to spend half my PTO for the year with you. We better get a deep relationship quick because I'm trying to have fun. Right? So when you want to go on that trip, they want to go on that trip. It's you saying, let's build this relationship. Alternatively, you can plan 2 small trips. So you can plan that 1 week-long trip or 2 weekend trips when you have a 3 or 4-day weekend. You have a 3-day weekend, take 1 day PTO, plan a 4-day trip with those people. That's plenty of time to spend with somebody. And when you plan it twice, you are now making a thing of it. It's like, hey, this is something we do together and it's fun because we're committed to each other. We're committed to understanding the relationship. And the whole key here is taking advantage of time spent together. The third thing you can do is take 4 spontaneous day trips. Call them up on a Saturday morning and be like, hey, I'm going to do this for the day. I would love for you to come. It's a 2-hour drive. We're going to do this activity, eat this food, and probably come back. Spontaneous, stuff just brings energy into the relationship. And again, we're optimizing for time spent together here because when you're living a proximate life, the more close you are to somebody in terms of your literal physical location, the more time you naturally spend together. So in order to improve our proximity, we're going to start with increasing our time together, and then naturally we will want to be closer. And that's because deep friendships are forged through shared adventures, not shared feeds. So what are you waiting for? Go make the invite. Cool, guys. That's the clip. I like that one, actually. I like that one because, it's like we're planning trips, baby. Like everybody, and maybe this is just America, but I feel like most of the people listening will be in America. And often, we don't have people in our lives who are worth planning trips with outside of family. Like, that's how we reconnect with family. And that's cool. Like, invite your family. But, you know, it's also cool to let people into that part of your life. So if the one big trip is with your family, take 2 small trips with your friends. If the 2 small trips are with your family and the one big trip is with your spouse, take 4 spontaneous day trips with your spouse and their friends. Like, we're just trying to intertwine lives here, get more proximate, because it's just how relationships go. Like, so many people, this is really what it is. I'll tell you why I like proximity. And I'm sure I've said this on stream before, but I'll say it again, and I'll say it again in the future. When you are in proximate physical location with somebody for extended periods of time, you cannot fake it. You just can't. And so many people spend so much time faking it. You fake it at work. You fake it at church. You fake it at this 2-hour social gathering that you were at. You fake it at the morning workout. You fake it getting coffee at Starbucks before work. Like, you fake it everywhere. And it's not necessarily that you're faking it. It's that you are. What's up? You trying to come on the stream? Come on, say hey to the stream. That was Gracie, guys. She's stream shy. She'll be on here eventually. Yeah. Where was I? I cannot remember. Oh, faking it. Boy, people just be faking it. And one of the reasons I like coming on this stream is, like, you guys see me say like weird stuff or weird comments or funny comments. And yeah, you know, some of the stuff I say on here is kind of filtered. Like, I drop N-bombs all the time with my brother and stuff when I'm talking. I haven't dropped them on stream yet. I'm sure it'll probably happen at some point. Just haven't done it yet. But even to an extent, I'm faking it on stream. Like, we're always faking it. But you know how you can't fake it? Spending 96 hours with somebody. Like, maybe you'll fake it through the first 24, maybe the first 48. But man, by hour 57, you're either going to be sick of them, they're going to be sick of you, and you're not going to be able to fake it anymore. And some people are like, that situation is atrocious. Why would I want to be around somebody enough to see the unpleasant sides of them? Because that's really what it is. It's like, there's pleasant sides of people and there's unpleasant sides of people. And we're always putting on our best. But I don't think I've ever said it this way before, but I think it's how it is. When you're putting on your best for people, it's a burden. Like, there's probably some emotion you're putting to the side, some reality you're putting to the side, so that you can focus on the person in the moment and put on your best for them, right? There's a burden there. And it's also very easy to love somebody who does everything right, which for the time being, it's like we have a relationship where you do everything right, I do everything right, and that's why we kind of do this thing. It's how most relationships go when you observe them from the outside looking in. Whether that's the reality of it, I don't know. Can't say, because I'm not in that relationship. I'm not talking about like intimate relationships. I'm talking about like the relationships you have with your friends. Like, when too much drama starts to pop up, it's like, hey, you're not worth that drama. That's a fine thing to communicate. If that's what you want to communicate and you want to keep to your close circle, I respect it. But also, I think there's something cool on the other side of spending enough time with somebody to see the ugly side of them and then choosing to love them through that. It does wonders for that person. It does wonders for you. Because then they also get to see the ugly side of you and choose to love that. And it puts you more so than the growth from choosing to love somebody, the growth that comes from bearing burdens with them, of like, hey, I can trust you now because I couldn't carry the burden for 96 hours. So I let you see a side of me that most people don't get to see. And you chose to love me through it. So now there's more trust there. So you bore the burden. There's trust. You chose to love them despite the ugliness that you saw. There's more trust. But even more than that, they get to flip around and do the same for you. So now you get to, not only are you trusted more, and did you get to grow in love, but you got to trust somebody more You got to experience love. And I think that's super cool, because a lot of times, because we never choose to show people the bad side of what we're doing, we never get to that experience. We're robbing people of the privilege of bearing burdens with us. So anyway, that's what I think. I thought we had a text in for the stream, but nope, it was just some texting list I'm on at 7:46 a.m. on a Saturday. But yeah, guys, planning one big trip, I think we'll do that. Like when you spend 7 days with somebody and you spend money and your PTO, it's like, hey, I'm committed to this group because I had better plans for this PTO that I'm foregoing for this group. It's like, we're going to get some deep relationships there. It's like, hey, we're about this. And really, you know, we've talked about love being sacrificed before. Sacrificing for the one big trip, big deal. Sacrificing for the 2 small trips, big deal. Because anytime you're doing either of those, you probably had other plans for that time, or could have had other plans for that time, because you have other relationships in your life. And you're like, nope, I'm here with you. I'm here for you. And I'm prioritizing you. And I think if you do that over and over again, those relationships will naturally, like, you can't small talk for 96 hours. That's why the next stage is consistent activity. And a good way to squeeze consistent activity in is to spend 96 hours with somebody, or even more. I'm trying to think. 70. 168 hours? Is that how much is in a week? Yeah. Spend 168 hours with somebody. Smush in a bunch of consistent activity. Let's put it this way. So we have our stage of community. We have small talk, then we have consistent activity, which is one activity on any consistent basis. It could be once a month, once a week, but no more than 4 hours a week. Then we have vulnerability. To kind of move from consistency to vulnerability, it's like you have to do that consistent activity for a large enough amount of time, and then naturally some vulnerable conversations will happen. And then to move from vulnerability to more consistent activity, it's like you have to spend more than 5 hours a week together, because to do that, you have to make some sacrifices and you have to commit. It's like, it's more than just two 2-hour things. And that's already a lot to do 2-hour things together. So if you're spending more time than that, you're moving into that more consistent activity. It's probably like you guys have really intertwine your life in a cool way on one aspect. It's like you either work out together, or you just eat a lot together, or you like to cook together, or you like to walk together, or something. And that's the only way you can get more than 2-hour activities in, right? But imagine this. You go on a 7-day trip, 168 hours together, and you guys are together the whole trip. We just said that more consistent activity, the 4th stage of community, is spending more than 4 hours a week together. So you have 2-hour segments, maybe a 2-hour segment on Tuesday, a 2-hour segment on Sunday, for example. That's more consistent, or that's consistent activity. If you do more than that, you're in the more consistent activity. Stage 2 versus stage 4. So if you spend 5 hours a week with more than 2 touch points a week, you're in more consistent activity, stage 4 of community, which most people never get there. If you take a 7-day trip with people and then you come back and share life together, you have compressed 168 hours. You got 10, 20, 30, 33 weeks of time being in the same space, like living life together. If you were in the more consistent activity stage at the minimum side of it, you condense 33 weeks of that stage into 7 days, spending 168 hours together. Granted, 56 of those hours are sleeping. So instead of 168, it's 112. So then you can go 20 weeks, 22 and a half weeks, right? Of compressed stage 4 community, just like spending 7 days together. And it's like, you're going to see stuff that you just wouldn't normally see. And you'll get to love people in ways you normally don't get to. And I just think that's a super cool, I don't know, it's a super cool way. Like, we think it takes a lot to be close with people, but really, man, it is just sacrifice for the sake of consistent activity. Because if you have that as the backdrop, all the rest will come. Like, the small talk will come, the vulnerability will come, the doing stuff together will come, the kind of like using your resources together to produce a certain cause or a mission or some way to improve both of y'all's lives will come. It just comes as you spend time together. Because it's like, hey, I trust you enough to combine resources with you and go after this thing. So let's do it. Right? It just comes naturally from spending time together. So with the one big trip, you can do that. With the two small trips, I think this is interesting. Because now it's like you could take one big trip with your college friends once every 5 years. And that's like, it's not community, right? You still need something to come back to. But with the two small trips, this is particularly interesting to me because it's like, hey, we're doing this again. It's like, hey, we just spent 96 hours together and 32 of those were sleeping. So we spent 64 hours over the past 4 days together. And we're going to do that again in 4 months. And again, that's 128 hours of together time, which is literally 24, 25 weeks, 25 and a half weeks of the stage for community in just 2 4-day trips. Like, it's just volume. Like, if you do 2 small trips with a group of people that you live within an hour of, and you have 2 small trips a year, like, y'all are going to be tight and you're naturally going to want to interact more. And so using these like very scheduled, very intense, short bursts of activity to deepen relationship in super fun ways. Like, you're having a trip, you're on vacation. This is fun. I think goes a long way, right? I think another one, take 4 spontaneous day trips. This is a pretty cool one because spontaneity, like if you guys live within an hour of each other, going on a spontaneous day trip ain't a big thing. And it's like, especially if it's expected, hey guys, we go on spontaneous day trips every now and then when somebody plans. We say yes if we can because we're committed to each other in that way. And Saturday, 8 a.m., you get a text, boom. You got a free Saturday. It's going to be a lazy Saturday, a chore Saturday, stuff you can put off for later. I'm not saying be irresponsible, but I am saying live your life. The laundry can wait, or you pay somebody to do laundry, probably $100, if that. Yeah. I wonder how much do you pay somebody to do 5-6 loads of laundry? Let me see. This is ChatGPT. It'll do 8 loads of laundry for me. And who would you pay? Because you can't. The laundromat, obviously, you can go there and do it alone. Wash and fold services in the U.S. charge about $1 to $2.50 per pound of laundry. A load of laundry, 15 to 30 pounds, often runs $20 to $50 per load when done by the service. If we assume each load is standard, let's pick 20 pounds for simplicity and use a service rate toward the lower end in the Austin market, which tends to be less. 20 pounds, 8 loads. So $240 to get them to do 8 loads. $30 a load. That's kind of tough, actually. That's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, but you can get somebody to do your laundry, which I don't know if I would pay that much to get somebody to do my laundry, but it's super cool to think about, actually. I remember watching this video by Hormozy that you could outsource all of your time, all of the stuff that you do for like $1,500 a month. Like, you could outsource laundry, cleaning, and cooking, I think he was talking about. So you don't have to cook anymore. You don't have to clean anymore. And you don't have to do laundry. You don't have to organize any stuff. And you don't have to do any of your home kind of maintenance services. You can outsource all that for like $1,500 a month, I think. And I see the laundry. Okay. So we're saying $100, $150 a month on laundry. And he recently made this video. I'm going to go watch this video now again, because it is very interesting to think about. Laundry, meal prep, cleaning. Trying to think what else. As you can see, I'm not the one in the house who does a lot of the chores. But really, after cleaning and laundry, and cooking food. It's like, what else is there? Like driving. I'm trying to think of all the ancillary life activities that we do. But yeah, I don't know. It was just an interesting thought. Don't know if I can find that clip or not, but yeah, cool stuff. Oh, the other thing I like about the spontaneous day trips is like, it is just living your life a little bit. Like, I don't know, man. It's just living your life. I think our life can be too planned sometimes, and planning is good. Don't get me wrong, but I think Tony Robbins said this thing: if you have a life where you can't take 5 minutes, you don't have a life. So you need a life where you can take 5 minutes. That's all we got for this communication segment. We went through 2 of them today. Thought we were going to get through 3, but I talked a little bit longer than usual. And I like to preserve these segments, so I plan as little as possible. I do one big planning sesh, and then the more I do, the more I have to do. Isn't that funny? The more you do, the more you have to do. Well, stop being lazy, Timmy. How about that? If you guys want any updates on kind of the business world, what I got going on behind the stream, right? We had some door hangers that went out. I'm doing a couple free scoops this weekend from the door hangers, but it wasn't nearly enough. Like, we put out 5,000 door hangers. I needed 50 responses. Like, I needed 50 people to book a free scoop, and we had 2. So that performed at 1/25th of what it was supposed to do, which sucks. So we probably won't be doing that again. And then I'm planning to run ads towards, probably going to have the ads up and running today, a $9 matchmaking service, because we had somebody say yes to our $50 matchmaking service, but we didn't have enough people to actually do the matchmaking. They're like, oh, I want to try it out. And initially I thought I was going to be able to sell people on the year-long or the 18-month-long thing for basically a buy 6, get 12 months free setup. And then I was going to be able to be like, hey, I'll start your clock when we make your first match, because it's going to take a little bit to make the first match. But didn't work. We got one person on Facebook. Just wanted to say, hey, thanks for joining the stream. We're about to head out for the morning. It's about to be 8 a.m. We go from 7 to 8 every morning. I was just giving the update on business, how door hangers for the poop scooping didn't work. We're about to run ads for the matchmaking service just locally, a very smaller version of it, not the full-blown version, just so we can get some reps in, get some people in, and then try to upgrade them, get some dog parents, some friends, hopefully some good matches, some pictures, some people join the Facebook group, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see how that goes with running ads towards that. And yeah, that's pretty much the business update. Door hangers didn't work. The event didn't work. It all worked, but not in the sustainable way that it needs to. And so we're just trying to tweak to get it sustainable so that we can pour into the free part of the community and build the top of the funnel in a meaningful way. So we need sustainable growth so that we can get explosive investment in the top of the funnel. And that's what we got for you guys today on the stream. We'll be here again 7 to 8 a.m. tomorrow. Thanks for joining, and we'll see everybody on the next one.